A movie's big budget and big marketing costs often make it go in the wrong direction. Mega budgets are great for some projects, but they can make things too hard and raise too many demands, which means the movie will fail at the box office. All kinds of movies don't do well at the box office, from cartoon movies to big action movies. Some movies are just doomed to fail at the box office, no matter how good the actors are or how good the special effects are. Here are some movies that didn't do well at the box office. Watch them and let us know if you think they deserve better. Please share this video with everyone you know who likes movies. Heaven's Gate. Heaven's Gate might be the worst movie ever at the box office. The movie, which cost $44 million to make, only made $3.5 million at the box office. The outcomes were so bad that United Artists, the company, had to shut down, leaving director Mike Cimino without a job. Sahara. Due to the strong group, many people didn't think Sahara would do badly. Matthew McConaughey, Steve Zahn, and Penelope Cruz were in the movie. They were looking for a lost Civil War battleship in the African desert. When Sahara came out, it got mixed reviews, but because it cost so much, it was seen as a flop. It took $211 million to make and sell the movie, but it only made $128 million around the world. The 13th Warrior. Eaters of the Dead became even better with the 13th Warrior. Touchstone Pictures chose to go all out with the movie because of how popular the book was. Fans were very let down because the book was so much better than the movie. The movie lost the company a lot of money because they put $160 million into it and only made $61.7 million from it. Jack the Giant Slayer. While it was being made, people had high hopes for the movie Jack the Giant Slayer, which was directed by Bryan Singer. Nicholas Hoult, Stanley Tucci, Ian McShane, Bill Nye, and Ewan McGregor were in the movie, which cost a huge $185 million to make. The movie had a famous cast and director, but they couldn't save it. Jack the Giant Slayer only made $7.7 million in its first weekend, which meant that the company lost $125 million. Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets. The film, which cost a whopping $100 million to make, had a terrible opening weekend at the box office, taking only $17 million to rank 5th. The movie, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets, is based on the French comic strip Valerian et Laureline, which is more well-known in Europe than in the US. The movie got a lot of bad reviews because the main stars didn't have much chemistry on screen, so the pictures were the major draw. The Flowers of War. This 2011 movie, which was made in China and starred Christian Bale, was about the Japanese attack on China and took place before World War II. The people who made the movie thought it would get a lot of attention at the Oscars. Let's just say that it didn't. Green Zone. During the Iraq War, this 2010 Matt Damon car followed a soldier. The movie didn't do well at the box office. Bicentennial Man. Robin Williams was the biggest star in movies in 1999 after the hits of Good Will Hunting and Patch Adams. That is, until Bicentennial Man came out. Williams played a robot who wanted to be human, but the movie didn't do well at the box office. Ben-Hur 2016. Many people think that the first two Hollywood versions of Ben-Hur are two of the best movies ever made. The third one, which came out in 2016, not so much. Even though stars like Morgan Freeman were in it, the movie bombed at the box office and with critics. The Stepford Wives, 2004. A cult great movie, The Stepford Wives was made in Hollywood in 1975. The movie from 2004 with Nicole Kidman isn't. The movie didn't do well at the box office, and problems behind the scenes are what people remember most about it. Peter Pan, 2003. Another day, another version of Peter Pan that didn't do well at the box office. Just maybe movie companies shouldn't keep trying to beat the original Disney movie. The Wolfman, 2010. This movie was doomed to fail, and not even Anthony Hopkins and Benicio del Toro could save it. But the Wolfman did have great makeup, as shown by the fact that it won an Oscar. The Chronicles of Riddick. Unfortunately, the Chronicles of Riddick did not do well at all, even though it was Vin Diesel's dream project. Luckily for Diesel, his later love project, the Fast and Furious movies, has done a little better. Catwoman. It's been more than 20 years since X-Men made comic book movies popular at the box office, and Catwoman in 2004 might be the worst movie of that time. The Halle Berry movie made big changes to the source material for the Batman character, which turned off fans and regular moviegoers. Jupiter Ascending. People thought Jupiter Ascending would be a hit since it was directed by the Wachowski brothers. But when the movie first came out, it got very bad reviews, with only good notes about its special effects. Warner Brothers spent more than $176 million making the movie, but it only made $47 million in the US and $136 million abroad. The company lost altogether about $80 million. The Adventures of Pluto Nash. It was a terrible movie at the box office, and not even Eddie Murphy could save The Adventures of Pluto Nash. In the action comedy, Murphy played the owner of a bar on the moon who was out for payback after a man who wanted to take over the moon blew up his club. The story was confusing, and the movie lacked both excitement and humor. The $100 million movie only made $2.1 million in its first weekend, and only made $7 million, which was a huge loss for the company, total. Green Lantern. People thought Green Lantern would be a big hit because it stars Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. The movie cost a lot to make, about $200 million, and it had to make more than $500 million to be profitable. People didn't like the movie, and it only made $219 million, which left Warner Brothers with some investment trouble. Speed Racer. Larry and Andy Wachowski, who worked on V for Vendetta and The Matrix, knew that Speed Racer would be a hit when they signed on to work on it. But when it came to Speed Racer, they couldn't get the same magic. People thought the movie would be a big hit at the box office right away, but it quickly fell short of those hopes. The movie that cost $120 million made less than $19 million. The Alamo. Even though Dennis Quaid, Billy Bob Thornton, and Jason Patric were in it, The Alamo didn't do well at the box office. The company spent $107 million making the history movie. That budget didn't translate to historical truth, though, and people were left wanting more. The movie made about $30 million in the United States and $26 million around the world. The company dropped $94 million on The Alamo as a whole. Treasure Planet. Treasure Planet did not get the Disney seal of approval, and it was a huge failure at the box office. It cost the company more than $140 million to make the cartoon movie, and millions more to sell it. The movie got mixed reviews when it first came out, but it still didn't do well at the box office. In the end, it only made $38 million during its short run in theaters. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon